you can relax. Colleen and Erik have a podcast. The world is scary and we're locked in our home, but now we have big microphones. So you can relax. That's the name of our podcast.
Hello, welcome to Relax the Podcast.
Hi.
I'm Colleen Ballinger.
I'm Erik Strickland.
Strickland?
It's often misspelled as that.
Is it?
Yeah. Or Stockland, people will hear.
Oh, people...
They don't want to hear Stockland. They Stockman, Strickland, or Stockland.
People always said Bollinger for me. It's not good.
Well, that's obvious.
Yeah.
It sounds like it could go even worse than that. But
we are married, and this is our date that we have once a week.
Yep.
So we're busy people, and you guys get to listen to it. So today we're going to chat about many things. We're going to continue a debate that was happening last week.
I think we've resolved the when you're allowed to decorate for Christmas.
Yeah,
issue.
we're gonna get into that. And we have lots of fun stuff to talk about today.
Yeah.
I wrote it all down, but now I don't remember what it was. But first,
Good for
before
you
we
for
get
writing it
into
down.
anything else, this show is called Relax. So, Lovey, we need to talk about who needs to relax. Do you want me to go first? Or you go first?
You can go first if you would like.
Okay. I think that jump scares in Halloween stores need to relax.
That's a good one. It's relevant to our human experience yesterday.
Also, jump scares like on Halloween, unless I am voluntarily going into a haunted house where I am expecting, I know this is what I'm going to get.
A hayride, perhaps?
A haunted hayride, a haunted house, a haunted maze.
A horror night?
But if I am maybe I should have expected because we're going to a Halloween store, so maybe it's my fault. But here's the story. We went into a Halloween store yesterday with our son. Who was 2.
Specifically spirits. You know, the ones that pop up every year in October for 1 month.
Mm-hmm.
That vacant building down the street from your house becomes a Halloween store.
Yes.
And then goes back to being
whatever it was before, which is nothing.
Yeah.
So that's what we did yesterday with Flint. And that's where we took him. And we wanted to look at the costumes. Now he walked in, and Flint doesn't go to many stores, so he is always very overwhelmed when he goes into a new store, just kind of taking it in. But this was a very weird one because you walk in, there's these huge mannequins with like chainsaws for hands and like missing heads. And
if you're the kind of person that spends like $300 on a animatronic Halloween robot for your front porch, they've got it for you.
That's for sure. We don't. But, so Flynn's looking at the stuff, and instead of going like, ooh, scary, we were kind of like, whoa, look at that silly guy. Isn't that silly? This is a cool store. Like, we were trying to not.
They had a Paw Patrol section.
Yeah, we were trying to not like make him think it was scary. If he thought it was scary, that's fine. But we didn't want to like be like, tell him that it was scary. We wanted him to come to that conclusion himself if he wanted to, because maybe he likes scary stuff. Who knows?
We said it was silly.
Yeah, we're like, that's a silly guy. Huh? That's so funny.
This guy, by the way, had a chainsaw for a hand and was programmed to say, I hit her in the head with a hammer 8 times over and over and over again as his eyes glowed red and he robotically hiccuped like back and
blood
forth.
On him. It was not good.
It was terrifying.
So
it was pretty silly.
Flynn was spooked, but he more was just kind of like taking it in. Like, I don't know what I think about this.
Just these big child wide eyes that you can only see his eyes because he's wearing a mask.
Right.
Looking at these things like,
so
that's a silly guy.
So Erik sees this like little tunnel like thing that has like chains kind of dangling down. I mean, it's like 10 feet long. It's not even a tunnel. It was just like a walkway. And he said, Flynn, come through this with me. Just trying to get Flynn to do something because he thought maybe he'd think it was fun. There was like dangling things in it. And Flynn walked through it with Erik. And at the end of it, there was like a huge, like maybe 3-foot spider that was connected to like a spring that jumped out at him. Like it has a sensor. So when Flynn walked past it, it jumped at Flynn. And Flynn didn't cry. He didn't like, he just goes, that scared me. Like it was like matter of fact.
Yeah, he jumped in and I didn't know he had claws, but he dug them into me and he kind of pulled me. He was kind of trying to protect me. He kind of pulled me away and dug into my leg. And yeah, he didn't like that.
No, so he kept saying, I don't like the store. I want to go. That scared me. And he never cried or anything, but right when we walked out, he said, I do not like that store. That was kind of crazy. We gotta go. We gotta find another store.
I don't want to go back
to that store.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's not my jam. But I was so annoyed that jumped out of my 2-year-old. But I guess that was our fault. Like, we went into a Halloween store. We know it's there. Like, I should have assumed something like that might happen. But as a mom, I was like, how dare they scare my son?
I didn't see it. I didn't expect it. So it wasn't like purposeful. Like if I knew that was going to happen, I would have chosen another route.
Right. But anyway, now Flynn will not go into Halloween stores. Like, it's like not going to happen. So that's over for us. However, it made me think about when I was trick-or-treating with like Christopher and Jessica's kids a long time ago. And we are just simply walking house to house. And there are some houses that are scary and we purposefully don't go up to those because the kids don't want to. And I remember specifically that night, so many people dressed scary who would like jump at the kids when we were just walking on the sidewalk, like with like bloody knives and stuff. And I was like, what are you doing? They're like 2 and 4. Like,
I wasn't there. I didn't.
No, this was a very, very long time ago. And
really?
Yeah, in my hometown. And so when that happened with Flynn yesterday, I was like so angry and I was like, and people do that on Halloween.
I don't know people to do that.
It happened when I was there and I was so
Unless
angry.
they're
They
like
did
a paid
kids.
performer at like a Halloween hayride or like a Horror Nights, which I don't like, by the way.
I know, they're really scary.
I find that very strange in like a haunted house that there are paid actors that are like, I'm going to get up in your, well, it's like, you're going to actually kill me. Like, why are you getting up in my face? I don't want that.
No, I don't either.
Kind of attention.
That's like what whenever I go to those with people, I always say that to the scare actors.
You say no, thank you.
No, I say no, thank you. But I also say, you're not allowed to touch me. Legally, you cannot touch me. Because there are places where they can legally touch you, by the way.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, they're allowed to like.
They have like consent to, what are they going to do?
Like they can like grab your arm or like something like that. I don't know. I feel like it's like a legal problem waiting to happen, but I know that exists. There are haunted houses where you can go in knowing that the actors are allowed to touch you and grab you. But I feel like that's anyway, who needs to relax for you this week, love?
It's not a who, it's a thing.
Okay.
On a human body, I would say that this week I'm going to have to ask the human belly button to relax.
Are you talking about mine?
I wasn't going to specifically call out yours because I don't want you to be self-conscious about it. But what's going on with your belly button is absolutely crazy. And it's stressing me out. So it's making me not relaxed.
Yeah, belly buttons are weird. And mine,
they are strange. And no, whether it's an innie, whether it's an outie, I get why it's there and what it did for you.
Mm-hmm. It makes you be alive.
It makes you be alive. And then,
the womb.
Yeah.
Mine is normally an innie. When I'm pregnant,
sure
it is the most outie that a belly button has ever been.
It's not even that it's an outie. It's like, it's so stressed to the point of like, when does it become just a hole again is kind of what I think. So when you have a belly button, and the whole umbilical cord
Mm-hmm.
process, which we've seen now firsthand from start to finish, is really, that's kind of strange and intense.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they clip it and then for the first couple of weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and then this kind of like
scabby umbilical cord,
scabby thing comes off, and then it develops into an innie or an outie, whatever your thing is,
Mm-hmm.
man. That's beautiful. But essentially, what it's kind of like a knot, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel, like a balloon.
Okay, I guess.
I don't know. Like,
I see what you're saying. No, I see what you're saying.
And it just seems to me that yours has become so stressed.
What do you mean stressed?
That it's become so like outed.
Yeah.
That I feel that it's just going to open.
Burst?
Yeah. Where else could it go? What's left?
My sister-in-law said, I was like, look how big my tummy is. I was showing her how big my tummy was. And she goes, I think you're having triplets and one of the babies is in your belly button.
Right. Yeah. It's pointed. It's pointing at me.
Is it pointy? It does stick out pretty far.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
It is weird.
Yeah.
Do you ever, when it wasn't innie, did you ever put your finger in your belly button?
I never played with. I wasn't a belly button playing kid.
You didn't have like a lint that collected in there,
I'm sure it
or
existed in there.
debris, like
Debris.
I don't know.
Like from rubble, like from
Yeah.
a building falling.
You don't
debris.
get that in there.
No, I'm sure that
You never got like a
has
good
existed.
chunk of debris out of your belly button.
I don't think so. Mine wasn't. I don't feel like mine was ever that deep. But like, yeah, I guess I can remember sort of like
Is
that
it
maybe
now-
has happened
and
when I was a kid or something.
Is it sensitive?
No,
Because mine feels like sensitive.
it does.
Yeah.
No, mine's not sensitive.
Like I never wanted to go too hard at it
It's sensitive
because I would be like, oh, I'm gonna
open it up.
open it. Yeah.
No, I don't think that's possible.
Is
I
that? I
feel
wonder
like
if
the
that's
skin,
an irrational fear I
I
have.
probably because I feel like the skin on the belly button, like the belly button skin, would be thicker and stronger than all the rest of the skin.
Well, and all the other ways that your body is a bit, its ability to heal itself,
Mhm.
right? You would think that like we would just have like if anything, like a scar there,
Mm-hmm.
but instead there's like an Indian. This is so
no,
weird.
it wouldn't be a scar because it literally a huge umbilical cord tube went in through that
What
into
happens
your
on
body.
the other side of the tube?
It's feeding your stomach
Well, yeah, no,
and your body.
I know
and
that,
you-
but then our son is born. They hand me scissors. They say, "Cut this thing."
Mhm.
That was
thick, right? Everyone says it's hard to do.
yeah. It took me two
Two snippets.
snippets.
Two snippets.
Um,
you're gonna have to do it so
and
much.
then they clip
Think
with
about
this
you're gonna have to
plastic
do it with
thing.
two babies.
I know, just double hand,
Double fisting,
and then like
cutting
rotate
umbilical
them,
cords.
put them in my. I'll bring my own scissors.
holstered.
Yeah, and then they clip it with the plastic thing, and then it like, I don't know, deteriorates, scabs, kind of like right, and falls. Then the rest of it just kind of falls off.
Well, like
week or
after
two
a
later.
week or two, yeah.
And then what happens? Well, I'm saying on the inside to the other half of the tube that was. Is it just like a loose hose running around in there now? What happens inside?
I'm not a scientist.
I thought you
I don't-
were.
I'm not well versed in umbilical cords except for when they're in me and how healthy and strong the umbilical cords are as like far as like being attached to the placenta and to the child.
Right.
And I have been told that currently the twins have thick, strong placenta.
Oh,
or
so
strong
it's
umbilical
attached
cords.
to so maybe when
Yes.
you birth the placenta, the rest of the inner cord is attached to the
Yes,
placenta.
yes.
Look at us.
But I thought you were asking like what happens on the inside, like how does it heal?
I was because they clip it and then like it knots off here, and I'm like, well, what happens to the other half of it that's in
Well,
you?
the umbilical cord it's just attached to the baby and to the placenta. And the placenta is kind of not attached, but what are you looking at? You're-
What?
what's
I was
wrong?
interested. I leaned in.
You leaned
Yeah.
in so close. It looked like you were looking at like something on my face. But what is crazy is the placenta is like in your uterus, and it's like attached to like kind of the wall. Not attached, but like kind of. You don't want to be attached. That's like dangerous. But it's essentially when it comes out, it's like a huge placenta-sized wound in your uterus that has to heal. And it's painful. Like it's like imagine like an open wound, like the size of a placenta.
Absolutely not. No, I won't imagine.
Well, I'm going to
that.
have 2 of them in my uterus.
Hmm.
And I had one with Flynn. Isn't that crazy? And the
So
human body just
braggy
like
right now.
braggy.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't want to. I mean, I want 2 kids. I don't want to have 2 huge wounds in me.
I didn't know
But-
that.
Yeah. Well, you didn't know the umbilical cord was attached to the placenta?
I just didn't know you'd be talking so much about wounds.
Okay. Well, let's move on then. You can talk about umbilical
That kind of
cords and
segues
placentas.
nicely into a Bob check.
Oh God.
Pew, pew, pew.
Okay,
Let's
we're
just see-
starting off an episode with a
Let's
bunch
just see what that belly button's doing
Ugh.
through thick cotton.
You won't be able to see
You
it.
can see it. You look like
I can pull it down.
it's like staring straight into the sun. Wow. Wow, I'm seeing it. You're listening, but I'm seeing it on the monitor of our camera. And is there some sort of effect you have on the camera that's making it?
That's what my
It's looking-
stomach looks like.
You're looking good, love. That looks great.
Oh, thanks. I feel
That
really
belly
pretty.
button is no. Sorry, I didn't mean. You know that I'm not
I'm
like
offended. I know.
negging you.
I know.
I love it. It just looks like your belly looks like
So you have
Jennifer Aniston in an
I
episode
feel
of
like
Friends.
you have a fear of belly buttons. Is that what you're saying?
I think so. I think we've just discovered that.
Okay.
This wasn't information I had before we started talking about it, but I think much like my irrational throat fear,
Mm-hmm.
I have a similar sense of vulnerability tied to my belly button.
And mine, apparently. I feel like the fear might just be of my belly button.
No.
Okay.
It just makes me think about my own mortality.
Well, I think this is a good time to move on to a new topic. And the new topic will be our first sponsor.
Uh-huh.
So we're going to move on from umbilical cords.
Does it segue well into...
everything segues into to Everlywell.
Ah, of course.
All right, guys, take a moment to answer this question for me, okay? How are you feeling today?
Oof.
Oh, gosh. If your answer is anything less than great, which apparently it is for Eric, it's time to learn more and demand better for your body. Take control of your health and well-being with an at-home lab test from Everlywell.
You just got one.
I did just get one. I'm so excited to do it.
The food sensitivity one.
I'm so excited to do it. So I've always wanted to do this because I've always had stomach issues and feel sick after certain foods, but then sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. I've always been really curious if I have like sensitivity or an allergy to certain
foods. How would you know without Everlywell? And now they're going to tell you.
But Everlywell offers affordable at-home lab tests that give you trusted physician-reviewed results. You choose from different tests, including food sensitivity, which is one I just got. I cannot wait to do it. Metabolism, sleep and stress, which Eric needs to do. That I guess I do too.
What are they going to just, yeah? They're just going to say.
The results just come back and say yes.
I just like put a Q-tip in my mouth and it's like, yep.
Oh my God. Thyroid and so much more. And here's how it works. Everlywell ships you your test straight to your door with everything needed for a simple sample collection. You return the test to a CLIA certified lab with a prepaid shipping label. Then your physician-reviewed results and insights are sent to your device in just days. Over 1 million people have trusted Everlywell with their at-home lab testing. So I'm super excited. I just got mine. I'm like dying to open up the box. Flynn saw it and he thought it was a toy for him, the box. And he was like, can I open this? I was like, that is mommy's. And I'm very excited about this. So I can't wait to check it out and see what foods I am sensitive to or might have allergies to, because I feel like it'll make my life a lot better to know like, oh, if I eat eggs, I'm going to get sick because I have a really intense food sensitivity or allergy to it. Mm-hmm. And then I can start cutting things out of my diet that are making me sick that I wouldn't have otherwise. I think it's awesome. I'm very, very excited. And for listeners of the show, Everlywell is offering a special discount of 20% off an at-home lab test at everlywell.com/relax. That's everlywell.com/relax for 20% off your at-home lab test. everlywell.com/relax. Okay, so Eric's eating a bagel, which is fine because I have a lot to say. So last week we had this Christmas debate, which is an ongoing debate in our home where I like to decorate for Christmas really early. I love Christmas. It makes me very happy. And Eric wants me to wait till after Thanksgiving. And I knew... Not
because I love Thanksgiving. Like I saw like some responses like Thanksgiving's this horrible holiday. Okay, yes, I know. It's not that I'm this champion of Thanksgiving. I just was saying that it is a holiday, and I like eating a big meal with family. Mm-hmm. But as far as like we need to decorate for it or celebrate it specifically for its past is not the case,
right? So I knew going into this because every time I talk about decorating for Christmas, even since before I met Eric, every time I've talked about liking to celebrate Christmas early and decorate for Christmas early, people have gotten viciously angry with me. I wrote a song about this, like about how people just get so mad that I like to, what? I'm not going to sing a song.
Come on.
No.
How do you say that and then not sing the song?
Because I don't remember it.
How's it go?
It's not very good. It's like a ukulele hate mail song. I don't remember it at all. It's like, I maybe can remember the first line. It's like, people are really mad at me because I put up my Christmas tree. Yes, it's November 1st, Yes, it's November 1st, but I want Santa to come early or something. I don't remember. It's not good. That. But anyway, and then I read a bunch of hate comments I got about how stupid I am that I decorate for Christmas early. So I knew when we had this debate last week that everyone was going to come for me and be pissed at me. And boy, did you guys. So basically... I'm going to read you some.
Not that I saw.
Oh my God, love. You were not looking in the right place.
No, I mean, the thing, people that added me were more mad. The people that added me, at least, were like, you're wrong. I'm Team Colleen, like in this debate.
Okay. I did not see that at all. I only saw people, which I knew, so I'm not mad. And I understand. But I want to read some of the comments because these people, you'll feel
Please
very
do.
heard, I think. So my frustration is that this makes me super, super happy. And Christmas decorations don't make you super, super mad. They just kind of annoy you a little. And my argument was like, if you love something so much that kind of annoyed me a little, I'd be like, all right. And
I have been. I am.
No, I know.
I was seeking like a slight compromise, but like I should say that when you do it, you go all out. There is up to 5 Christmas trees in this house. Everything's covered in glitter and all over. So then glitter is everywhere. Yeah, so I can't. I mean, you don't honestly 50 boxes of Christmas stuff.
Don't even
all
need
of
to
our
defend
storage
yourself.
in this house is taken up with Christmas decorations for when they come out. All of our storage.
That's literally not true. But you don't even need to defend yourself because everyone agrees with you and not me. So I'm going to read you some of the top comments on our Relax podcast from last week. Okay. Here we go. I get both arguments. Thank you, Clara. This maybe was the only nice one. But just standing up for Eric for a second, extra stuff and clutter stresses me out. It literally makes me feel claustrophobic and closed in. I need open, clean spaces for a clear mind. So is that how you feel? Do you feel claustrophobic?
Yeah, I think Clara
said that.
Thank you. Thank you, Clara. Yes, I totally, this is true for me.
Okay.
And that's why I feel like you see me cleaning a lot. I clean a lot. I'm not a huge clutter fan. I like kind of like simple. Yeah. Cause I think, when that is done and I feel less stressed. Yeah.
Okay. So here's another one.
She hit the nail on the head with that.
Okay.
For sure.
This is from Clarissa.
A lot of C names.
In Eric's defense, when you grow up in a place that actually experiences seasons, the celebration of those holidays corresponds with the idea of the changing of the seasons. I think the idea of decorating your house to look like winter when it's fall may seem fine in California because there isn't really a seasonal correspondence, but it's more clearly premature when it's seasonally fall outside, leaves are changing, etc. But your house is decorated like winter. Anyway, just my 2 cents.
Absolutely. Growing up in New Jersey and Connecticut, there are seasons, and my favorite season is fall or autumn, as some people will say.
I feel like
because my birthday is in September, and also I loved that like brisk, cool. That weather is just perfect for me. A light jacket, perhaps. I'm a fan of this weather, and so it's like you're cutting that short for me.
But
like
you don't
like this. That is my favorite season, and it's like cut short by this early declaration of it is Christmas time. This is Christmas music.
But it doesn't get cold here. We don't even get rain at Christmas time. It's like stays hot all year. So there's not
like a color palette I like are the fall colors. So you're going straight to red, green, and white. I'm not.
If I decorated the house the same amount, but for fall, you'd be fine with it because I don't think you would.
Well, you do that.
No, I don't. There's not a single fall decoration in our house.
Your office upstairs is all.
That is my office because I don't want to clutter the house for you. So I'm just saying. I don't think it's because you want the house decorated for fall. You don't. You said that before we started.
We're talking about seasonal change and
This person is really mad. Alessandra said, Colleen keeps asking Eric, why? And he explains every single time, but she's just not hearing him out. Angry face emoji. The clutter of it all obviously is overwhelming for him. When he said, I used to like it, that said it all. Like when you said, like, I said, you don't like Christmas and you said, I used to.
Oh, did
Basically,
I?
she's blaming me for that.
I think this is a playful.
Well, and that's the thing.
It's
I'm
more
like everyone thinks that I'm like a horrible
certainly
wife.
Not fighting or arguing. It's more like a playful debate. It's fun to debate you on this because it like in a silly way.
It upsets me so much.
It drives you like a little
crazy.
Yeah. And like,
I know that. And I know that's why I think that's a big reason why you're like, no, we're not decorating until then, because I know that you like when I get like my buttons pushed.
Yeah. And I should say what happened in the week that followed that last week's episode of the podcast.
We'll get into that. Okay. Let's see. Rebecca said, I'll read just a couple more. Rebecca said, maybe these are all the top comments, by the way. I'm not like looking for these. These are all the top comments on the video. Okay. Maybe Colleen can't understand where Eric's coming from because she only has overwhelming joy for decorating for Christmas. Eric, of course, supports her decorating because it makes her happy, but he is sacrificing months of the house he lives in being a draining space for him mentally, where he looks forward to the point that it's over. Both sides are valid. Some people like Christmas decorations and others don't, and I don't think there should be an attempt to convert one to the other. But when opposite sides live in the same house, you have to understand the position of the other hand to be willing to compromise. Hold on, I want to read one more before.
Is that is that a doctor? Was that our a psychiatrist?
This is where I have a question for you.
That was really good.
Eric, tell her it's overstimulating and you are an anxious person. This is why it affects you. So it seems as though all these people think, and you need to tell me if they're correct, because then I guess I'm not decorating for Christmas. Because they're all basically saying like his poor mental health, this poor anxious person is so claustrophobic and stressed and anxious because of Christmas trees. How dare you want to decorate early? It's kind of what I'm getting, the vibe I'm getting from these comments. So if this is true, if it really affects your mental health that bad, then I can wait until the week of Christmas.
I think there's kind of two sides to that coin, and where like,
because
I think that it's not like it in any serious way affects my mental health. It's just a lot in an already, we're born into this world like for like intents and purposes, like alone, you know what I mean? And like we growing, and then you're a person, and then like you now all of a sudden you're a family and you're sharing a space, and you have a kid who has lots of stuff, and a wife who has lots of stuff, and then and interests and things, and then it kind of, and that's your space, and for the calendar year, months of that time, a lot of that space is taken up with so I've never seen anyone live like this for a holiday. Like it's an outpour. It's like it is like somewhat intrusive how expansive it is. Cause like when my family decorated for the holidays for Christmas, like it was like maybe some lights out front, and then there was a Christmas tree in the living room, maybe like a wreath on the front door. And so I think my some like, kind of knick-knacky stuff that comes out that time of year for the month of December on like the mantle. Mm-hmm. In this house, in this home, it's in every room. It's everywhere. And it's am I going to cry?
It's literally not in every room. It's in the two main living rooms, and that's it.
Well, in that, that's not true. There will be a wreath on the door. There will be when you walk in there's a giant tree, and then the entire stair banisters cut, and this is all very glitter intensive. And then in that room, you're like, well, this tree will go in this room, or these two trees will go in this room, and then the little tree will go in our bed. You know what I mean? It's every
Well, here's
room.
the thing: it's all the comments were basically saying that it's because it makes him so claustrophobic and so anxious, and like, I need to hear that out. But to me and my perspective, maybe I was wrong, and I can admit I was wrong. To me and my perspective, it was never that. It was like I always felt like we always would have that argument like to wind each other up, to piss each other off.
As the British would say, taking a piss, right?
And I genuinely I cannot even explain how happy it is.
Yeah. And that's what makes it all worth it to me, is because how bad I want you to be happy. And I would never want to take you know what I mean? Like we're just fleshing it out completely. And I'm being asked to like deep dive into it. But like I surely we're just having fun. And I'm so glad that there's this thing that makes you happy, and go for it. Go crazy.
But if it was something that genuinely made you super anxious and have like claustrophobia and be super, super uncomfortable in your own home, and you feel like a stranger in your own home, and all these things, like I wouldn't do it. Of course not. But anyway, everyone was very mad at me.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry to the people I have said. I'm not decorating your homes. And even our home, we did come to a compromise. What Eric was trying to say earlier is we went to a Christmas store a few days ago, and I went to find decorations that were calmer, that weren't covered in glitter.
Sure. And also, yes, that's ones we were looking at together, because you were like, I found this like amazing wholesale year-round Christmas warehouse, and I was insistent on going with you. I wanted to go with you to support this. And I was like, get it all and do it now. Like, if it's going to make you happy and with everything you're going through right now, like, please, like, decorate every day right now. I did have one tweet that I wanted to read. That's why I'm looking at my phone.
Okay. But yeah, so we went to this. So the compromise would be that, like, and here's the other difference is this year has been, and I guess call me selfish. I guess I am being very selfish, but like the past 2 years, but especially this year has been very hard because I've been pregnant with twins and we're in the middle of a pandemic.
Only for 200 days of it so far.
I can't do anything. I can't go anywhere. I'm in pain all the time.
You are?
And the closer I get to the due date, the more miserable I'm getting and the less mobile I'm getting.
Yeah, so decorate now. Decorate the earliest you've ever decorated.
That's not what I'm saying.
I'm all for it. I'm not kidding.
It wouldn't be the earliest I've decorated.
Oh my God.
I've decorated on October 1st before.
You have?
Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to say that this year I've been looking forward to Christmas so much more than I ever have because I've been so miserable, to the point where last year during COVID, I was so sad, as everyone was. I made a Christmas in August because I couldn't wait till December. So we did 2 Christmases last year.
We sure did.
So I didn't do that this year, first of all. And so I've just been like, I'm literally counting down the days so I can bust out a Christmas tree. But I'm waiting till at least November. And I might even wait longer because I don't want the internet to think I'm a horrible wife who's like abusing my husband by like putting up Christmas decorations too early. But yes, I hear what you guys are saying. And if it truly makes you super anxious, I'm not going to do anything that would ever hurt you or upset your mental health. Especially, we're recording this on, I think, isn't it like World Mental Health Day today? I think it is.
It is.
And I would never want to do anything to, encourage those things in your life. You know what I'm saying?
That sounds like a lawyer wrote this.
What? I don't think it was even like proper grammar or English.
One tweet that I saw that I liked was from Megan, and she said, "You guys should buy a shed. Mm-hmm. Buy a shed and make it look like Christmas. Throw up in it. So when it's October, Colleen feels the need to celebrate Christmas. She can hang out there in the shed." I just think this is a great idea.
First of all, we don't have room for a shed. Second of all, do you remember what the guest room was when you met me? Because the guest room was the Christmas room. So I've done this before. A room
in your house that all year long.
It was decorated for Christmas.
Yeah.
Ask me if I ever got sick of Christmas.
That's in the house. I didn't. I like Megan's idea better of getting a shed, just like a dark, like Christmas decorations and spider webs.
As Flynn would call them, spider webs.
And you just have to go out to the Christmas shed and be in there alone in the dark in a shed.
Okay. Well, I
you don't like that idea?
No, I don't like. I'm not going to go live in a shed with twins, brand new newborn twins.
No, just when you feel like celebrating Christmas, you go out to your shed.
No, okay. We're doing compromising things. There's no glitter. I'll do less stuff. Because you want less stuff, so I'll do less.
I'm offering you this yard space to build a shed.
I don't want a shed. The last thing I want in the world is a shed. I don't like.
Not even for your happiness?
A shed is
what
like
about
for
your
tools
mental health?
And rats.
We're not talking about your mental health.
No, we're not. Wait, what? What about my mental health?
Exactly.
Gosh, maybe we'll get into that later. But before we do, let's talk about something else that has to do with health and happiness, which is Daily Harvest. We love Daily Harvest here on Relax, and we want to take a second to say thank you to them for sponsoring us. For us, this time of year usually means getting back into a busier schedule. We love, like I said, I love a season. I love a holiday, and we're getting into all the holidays. We've got birthdays, we've got Thanksgiving, we've got Halloween, we've got Christmas, we've got a million family gatherings. So we love all this stuff, but when I am swamped thinking about what's for lunch, or let alone finding time to go grocery shopping, is almost impossible, especially with being this pregnant. Thanks to Daily Harvest, our freezer is always stocked with delicious options that are ready in minutes. Daily Harvest delivers delicious harvest bowls, flatbread, smoothies, and more, all built on organic fruits and vegetables right to your door. Daily Harvest takes literally minutes to prepare and never uses preservatives, added sugar, or artificial anything. And that goes for everything. I personally love a good harvest bowl. I feel good about myself after eating them. It's much better than eating fast food.
You'll eat that after.
Well, no, I won't. Not anymore, but we're not going to get into that this pregnancy. But anyway.
You and your harvest bowls.
I know. What about you, Lovey?
I like that they make, the smoothie series, those are good, but like they make flatbreads too. Mm-hmm. I'm a big fan of the artichoke. Anytime artichoke and spinach intersect, like I'm there for it. On a flatbread,
Get out of town. So good. Daily Harvest Bowl is the perfect comfort food meal on a chilly fall day, and they are ready in minutes. Daily Harvest is all about preserving and protecting the earth for current and future generations to come, from their recyclable and compostable packaging to investing in organic farming practices and reducing food waste. Who doesn't want to help out with that? They believe in leaving the earth in a better place than they found it. Daily Harvest is delicious food, all built on whole organic fruits and vegetables that conveniently stay fresh in your freezer, so it's ready when you are. It's really the whole package. So enjoy this time of year even more like we do with Daily Harvest. Go to dailyharvest.com/relax to get up to $40 off your first box. That's a lot of dollars. That's dailyharvest.com/relax for up to $40 off your first box. dailyharvest.com/relax. So something that I would love to talk about a little bit.
Is it the fact that you're having a really good hair day?
Oh my God, I haven't washed it in like 4 days.
It looks really good.
That's so sweet of you.
Yeah,
I feel
great.
disgusting. Last night I wanted to shower and I literally turned on the shower and like 5 seconds later, Eric goes, here's the shower turn off. And he goes, you okay? And I was like, I can't stand this long.
Yeah.
I like literally I'm at the point with this pregnancy where I cannot, it hurts to stand. My legs
then
give
asked,
up.
is there a chair I can take in the shower?
That's
And
where
it made
I'm
me
at.
think. It made me think. There's a bench in there.
I know, but okay,
very
I have
cold.
an issue with that. Yes. Like when you're naked in a shower, the last thing you want to do, sorry, I just like burp hiccuped. I don't know what, it's pregnancy related, whatever just happened.
No one noticed. I was bothered by it. Except for the fact you just breathed out in my face really hard.
So anyway, when you're naked in a shower, you don't want to sit on a cold tile seat. Like it's very cold. That seat.
Yeah, it's almost like it's a refrigerated bench.
Yeah. Anyway,
a chair. Yeah, we'll get you a shower chair, love. What do you want me to say?
I don't want you to say anything. I'm just explaining that my hair is very dirty, and Eric's saying I have a good hair day, but it's just mostly nastiness.
I thought you did it. Well, how do you get this
what?
This kind of like curl here? It looks
sweat.
specific in place. That's just natural.
No, my hair.
Does this?
Okay, so I have
That kind of
curly hair.
Whoop and
I
wind.
straighten the hair, and then I have night sweats with this pregnancy, and so then it kind of curls itself because it gets wet, but not soaking wet. So when it dries, it like gets some of my natural curl, but then some of the straight from when I straightened
process. People come to relax for beauty tips, so you just breathed so hard in my face again.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, so anyway, what I wanted to talk about was this. So Flynn, like I said earlier in this episode, really, did I say it? Did I talk about his green guinea pig?
You've not mentioned that
God.
whatsoever.
I guess I talked about it in my brain. But Flynn, the reason we went to a pet store yesterday before we went to this Halloween store. And we talked about the Halloween store, right? Am I crazy? Have I lost my mind?
This is good insight into like what it's like to be in a relationship with you.
Did we talk about the Halloween store? Yes, that was my relaxed thing.
For like 20 minutes.
I know, but we didn't talk about the pet store, did we?
Not at all.
Okay, so we went to a pet store. We went to a pet store yesterday. And by the way, I saw a really funny video someone edited of like, did you watch that one that was like, what this video perfectly describes Erik and Colleen's relationship?
No, you sent it to me and then things were happening.
I'm gonna
I
have to show it to you then, and we'll make Chris put it up on the screen for you guys if you're watching it, but you can just listen to it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I can't believe you didn't watch it because you will love this.
No, I was with Flynn and then
of course
things, and then I've been meaning to go back to that.
Sorry, I will get to the
text.
pet store topic in a second, but
Thank God.
okay, but this is more important.
We've already talked about the pet store.
No, we didn't.
Oh my God.
Okay, here it is. Okay, so this one is called Colleen Ballinger and Eric Stockland's relationship in a nutshell. Okay, someone uploaded this, and I think it's so funny. Here we go. You know I'm good at hula hooping? Yeah, check it out. Go for hours. I won't stop till I want to. So it's just me hula hooping and Eric being annoyed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I could go for hours if I wanted to, but I don't want to, so I will eventually stop just because I want to, but it's not gonna, like, fall on its own. Like, I'm not gonna, like, accidentally have to fall. Like, if I'm done, it's just, I'm done.
Eric starts meditating as I'm just, like, non-stop talking about how I like to hula hoop.
I used to be able to do tricks. You can make it go to my neck.
You sound like a 4-year-old. Hey, I can do tricks. You want to see if I can get it on my neck?
See if I can.
You want me to see?
I can't. I haven't done it
Do
since
it.
I was little. No, I can't do it. I can make it go down to my ankle. That's pretty impressive.
Isn't that funny?
That really is like all you need to know about
That
us.
is literally our relationship in a nutshell. Me just talking about something completely mindless out of nowhere that no one asked to hear about, and you just like
Wow.
trying to meditate in your mind away.
I really
from
like
the
the zoom
situation.
ins and like the echo effect
The
on your
echo
voice.
effect of my
Yeah,
voice.
that made me laugh very hard.
Anyway, what I wanted to say 20 minutes ago when I started this conversation was we went to a pet store because Flynn randomly declared yesterday,
Oh yes.
I want a green guinea pig and I want to go to a store and buy a green guinea pig. And Eric said, you know what, Flynn? We'll go to the store and if they have a green guinea pig, we'll get it for you.
yeah. That's
And
a promise.
yeah, we promised him
That's
if
a
we find a
father
green guinea pig,
Promise.
we will buy it for him. And he then said the guinea pig's name is Jelly and was like, you didn't even have to, he already
it's
had a
already
name.
named.
And it has a best friend named John. And this is a green guinea pig and it's a big green guinea
Which is
pig.
a huge step for him because he's been naming anything and everything Buddhis
Mhm.
for a year at this
Mhm.
point. So it's the first time he's ever decided on a new and different name for, let alone two.
Mhm.
Should we say the way he says guinea pig?
How does he say it?
This is gay pig.
Oh, yeah. He does say gay pig.
I want to go to the pet store and get a gay
Oh, yeah.
pig.
Yeah, I want to get a gay pig and it's got to be green. And his name is Jelly. So we went to the the pet store. They had guinea pigs. They were not green. And luckily for us, Flynn did not settle. He was like, those are green. They're garbage. They're not green. They're garbage. Like he had no interest in these brown, white, black guinea pigs because they weren't green. Thank God. I was worried he was going to see one and be like, I don't care. Like, let's get a guinea pig.
That's Jelly and that's John.
Yeah. And so I was nervous, but luckily he did not want those guinea pigs. So this made me think about how I had guinea pigs growing up. I had a lot of guinea pigs. I love guinea pigs. And I started thinking about all the pets I have. And I was like, have we talked about this yet on the podcast? Like our pet
Like
past?
a pet episode?
Not a pet
I
episode.
honestly
It's
think
just a
we
segment.
have. I mean, probably.
Have we?
I don't know how many of these have we done. Like 30,
39?
Yeah, sure. I think we probably have talked about our pet
Well-
history. But go for it.
Well, I want to know about your pets, but I don't think so because I know about your pets, but I want the.
I'll talk
honestly,
about it again.
my family. I'll go because I'm sure everyone already knows about my pet history, but maybe not yours. So I'll go over mine really fast. Well, as fast as I can, which is apparently I'll ramble for a million years. But
We got time to fill. Well, go for it.
we had so many pets growing up. We had tons of cats, dogs, guinea pigs, bunnies. We had a tarantula, a snake, an iguana. We had lots of mice, rats. Did I say that already? Finches, doves. We had a tortoise. We had chickens. I'm sure I'm forgetting a bunch. These are the ones I can remember off the top of my head.
That's every kind of animal. That's a full.
Yeah.
That's a full zoo.
We had everything. I will say growing up,
Where did you keep these things?
well, we didn't have them all at the same time. I mean, we kind of had a lot at the same time, but
Some of them I feel like just roamed your backyard.
Yes.
Some stories.
so
you
the
told
guinea
me.
pigs and the rabbits were in we had like a side yard.
The guinea pigs were outside?
Yeah.
Really?
And they ate the grass and it was like a shaded area. It wasn't like
but just outside in your they wouldn't like escape?
No,
Like
it was a
little
fenced off
Holes?
place.
Do they
no.
burrow? I feel like they would burrow.
The bunnies would dig holes and like make little, I don't know what you call those underneath the ground where they make all these little trails, like bunny tunnels, essentially. And the bunnies would hop down and have babies. And then like, a month later, weeks later, whatever, little baby bunnies would hop out.
They don't get out?
No, they never got out. I mean, maybe some did. I don't remember them getting out. Our cat got a couple.
Uh-huh. Is this
So-
is any of this illegal?
I'm sure it's not. I don't
Okay,
know.
yeah.
This was a very long time ago. We had lots of animals because we'd wanted them, and my mom couldn't resist. She loves tiny baby animals, and like she just would get them. Oh, and we had lots of fish, frogs, turtles. I don't know. We had lots of stuff.
Like siblings, so we have pets. Yeah,
And
sure.
so we had tons of pets. And I'd say growing up with snakes and tarantulas, I'm not scared of
You had a tarantula?
Christopher. Yeah, my brother had a pet tarantula. He told my parents, I think he was 2 or 3. He said, I want a tarantula. And my mom said, when you turn 10 on your 10th birthday, you can have a
And
tarantula.
he remembered.
He remembered.
Yeah.
And on his 10th birthday, he got a tarantula. And tarantulas are terrifying because they shed their skin, or I don't know if it's called skin, whatever.
Like exoskeletons.
But it's whole. Like it comes off in a
Right.
whole piece.
Mhm.
So you have to, my dad would reach in to take out the shell, and you can't tell the difference between the two sometimes. So one time he reached in and he touched the living tarantula and not the shell.
Would your brother like handle it? Like hold it? And
No,
stuff?
no. Well, I mean, I guess he did a couple times, but like they're really delicate. Like if you drop a tarantula, I'm pretty sure from what I remember from my childhood, like they'll
Yeah.
shatter their bones. Like they're very delicate. You're not supposed to like,
Oh, do they?
but maybe I'm
Doesn't they
wrong.
bite you? They bite you?
I never held it. I didn't have any interest in holding that. But having a pet snake, I held the snake all the time. My brother held the snake all the time. And snakes don't scare me now. Like I'm
You've
not
been bitten by a snake?
No, I've not been bit by a snake.
I've been bitten by a snake.
You have?
Oh yeah,
What?
for sure. No,
What do you mean for sure?
I was like a woods kid. We were always grabbing.
You got bit by a
I mean,
snake?
like a garter snake, not like a cobra.
Does it hurt?
Yeah,
Wait,
it feel great.
not poisonous though?
No.
I don't know.
Like a
I've
common, garden snake.
What? Like lots of times?
More than a few. Yeah,
I feel like, is this common? Am I crazy?
Well,
People get bit by
yeah.
snakes just like on the regular?
I think they're common to Southern California as well. But yeah, like a
Yeah, we have
garter
snakes.
snake. But
Yeah.
you know what those are, right?
Yeah, I saw them the
They
other,
were
like
like-
a couple months ago with Flynn.
Yeah, we were big into you got to catch that thing in the woods when we were
Right.
kids.
So you would
Me and my
catch it and then it
siblings.
would bite you?
Yeah, because you're trying to grab it and it's like it's a snake. It would turn its head around and like bite your hand and you'd be like, ah. And
Have
you'd
you
to,
never
like-
watched one of these Survivor shows at this point? You don't know that you're supposed to like grab it like,
Well, you would try, but they're kind of
oh my gosh.
they wiggle around.
Well, anyway, we had a million different pets. And this is something I struggle with at night nowadays. But I had mice. And they sell mice at pet stores to feed to snakes. You know this? They have like
Yeah.
feeder mice. And I thought they were cute and like
So those
bought
became
one
your
as
pets?
a pet.
Yeah.
But mice breed.
Mhm.
I mean, like their pregnancies must be a day.
Yeah, we had mice that had babies at one point.
I mean, insanity. So we ended up having like 50 mice. Like I had 5 different cages with mice in them.
What?
And so
where?
in the garage is where we kept them. And so I started a business and I would sell them to my friends who had pet snakes cheaper than the pet store.
That's
Isn't
literally
that awful?
It's literally a character from Royal Tenenbaums. It's like,
Is it?
yeah.
I don't remember the movie.
Um,
But yeah, I did that. Isn't that weird? Anyway.
you were always so
Um,
business minded, even as a child.
Oh yeah. Big time.
So you would these mice that you cared for
Yes.
and liked as pets, you
Mhm.
would breed them
Mm-hmm.
in large quantities and then sell them off to be eaten alive.
Well, I didn't breed them for this purpose. I bred
But
them.
that's who's buying them. That's your clientele.
Yes. So I bred them. I didn't mean to
There's
breed
not a
them.
huge
It
market
was
for people that want feeder mice as pets.
Right. So I didn't breed them I didn't even try to breed them. Like I feel like I would have not bought a boy and a girl. Like I'm sure my parents were not like, this is a good idea. Let's buy a boy and a girl mouse. That must have been an accident. We must have thought we got 2 boys or thought we got
Right.
2
But
girls.
just in your young mind, you figured I can profit off their deaths.
Well, once we got so many.
Yeah.
So not at first, but then once we got so many, I couldn't name them. There were too many. And it
They
was
don't
just
even
like,
have names.
I was
Eat
like,
them.
I was like 10 at the time. I was like pretty young. And I would not do this now.
They say
It's
that's
horrible.
a sign of a serial killer. You know that, right?
Okay, well, here I am. But I would never do this now. And I think because I had a snake in the house and we fed this snake mice, I was kind of desensitized to it. I didn't grow up thinking there was.
You grew up around mouse death.
And like the tarantula ate crickets. So we'd put living crickets in there, and like our frogs ate living worms. And like, so I would see animals eat other living things. So I was kind of desensitized to it my whole childhood. So it wasn't like as traumatizing as like now I feel like that's trauma. I couldn't watch that now. Now that would freak me out and scare me, make me really sad.
A snake for a very short period of time called a black rat snake. Do you know those?
I don't think so. We had a corn snake.
Well, they're called that because they eat rats, and we had it very briefly because you had to feed her mice, and we were not.
You couldn't handle it.
Okay with that as children.
Well, yeah, it's horrifying how they do it. We had to
find a place to where it was acceptable to release this snake.
Yeah. Where is that?
And he could go find his own mouse death.
Right.
In like a national park where they are common.
You bought the snake?
No, my one of my siblings had caught it.
Oh, okay.
Brought it home.
Got it. As a pet, and then you're like, oh, we have to feed it another
And then
animal.
now it needs to eat.
What do we do?
And it eats mice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say it's not pretty when they eat. It's awful.
Yeah, cricket, I see that. Is, you know what I mean? Or I don't know what the other one you said.
Cricket, worms, living worm.
Sure, but like
Flint,
something with like big eyes and hair.
Well, and they suffocate
squeal.
at first. Yeah, it was not good. It's not good. It was bad.
This podcast got pretty dark.
I know. Well, and that's the thing is I didn't know any better. And I thought that was just like, I mean, it's the circle of life is what I was taught. I just didn't think anything of it. And now as an adult, I look back and go, how did I watch that? Not like, because I can't watch.
What do guinea pigs eat? I never had a guinea pig.
The guinea pig food. It's kind of similar.
I thought you were going to say other guiney pigs.
No, guinea pig food. And they eat similar
Of course
food
they do. It's like a pellet.
It's like a pellet, yeah. This is similar to what the rabbits, but we would always give them fresh veggies.
They're herbivores.
So we would cut up food for dinner and like whatever leftover veggies, like the ends of celery or carrots or whatever would go in the backyard.
It's strange to me that's what he wants because that's like the one pet I feel like we never had.
I loved guinea pigs.
One rodent pet we never had. Yeah, I know nothing about them or their temperament or diet. I
mean, the guinea pigs that I had were nice.
Do we get one?
No, we do not.
Oh, okay.
I mean, here's the thing. It's like how people, unfortunately, how the majority of people handled pets when we were children is much different than now because now we've learned a lot more and grown as a society to be like, oh, these are living creatures we need to treat better. So the caretaking for pets is much different than it was when we were kids. At least in my experience.
We can't just put them in the yard.
You can't just like put it in a cage and like be like, you're good to go. Like there's like so many, like I would have to do a lot of research
on
guinea pigs and what's the proper care of them and what size cage you need, how much like free time they need. And you have to like look into all this stuff. Do they have to be with someone else? Like,
where do they live in the wild? Where do they come from?
I don't know.
New Guinea?
I don't know. We should look into that.
We don't have.
But before we look into
this podcast is more questions than it is answers
it's like the worst
and facts.
Podcast ever. But before we get into learning more about guinea pigs, we want to thank Canva for sponsoring this episode. Making content is an essential part of what we do to keep this show going, but it hasn't always been a seamless creative process. It's been really hard staying on top of everything. There's the content we have to create. We have to come up with the videos, social posts, all that fun stuff. There's a lot of work that goes into it. And it's a pain in the butt when you're trying to start a business and you have all these different elements going into it. And not only do we do it for this podcast, but of course my YouTube channels, there's all these different things to try to organize at the same time. But now we have Canva Pro to help us out. With Canva Pro, you can design anything like a pro on any device. It is a design platform that empowers you to create and share stunning content in just a few clicks. Designing with Canva Pro is amazingly fast and fun. Choose from thousands of templates that are easy to customize, or you can start from scratch. Canva Pro has endless premium fonts, photos, videos, and so much more that add personality and edge to whatever you're designing. You guys, Canva Pro has an extensive library of tools, features, imagery. They have tons of stuff, endless options, and you don't have to pay for images anymore. It makes creating such an easier process. So you can just focus on being creative and growing your business and not focus on all the nitty gritty and all the little bits and pieces that are what make our job usually pretty stressful. Designing together has never been easier. Sharing, editing, and commenting in real time. Canva Pro helps you stay organized on the same same page and on top of team projects. No more misplaced files or tedious back and forth. Plus, you and 4 teammates can unlock everything Canva Pro has to offer for just $12.99 a month. With Canva Pro's Content Planner, you'll save time planning, creating, and posting social media content too. Pause scheduled posts and edit them at any time. Our favorite Canva Pro feature is the Content Planner, which I was just talking about, because one thing I'm horrible at is planning and being organized, especially with a more creative brain. It's hard to keep all those thoughts organized and make sure you get everything done. So it's been really, really helpful for stuff like that.
Before that, it was just a paper calendar that you literally scotch taped up next to the front door of our house.
Random notebooks all over the house full of random notes that I lose. Anyway, design like a pro with Canva Pro. Right now, you can get a free 45-day extended trial when you use our promo code. Just go to canva.me/relax to get your free 45-day extended trial. That's canva.me/relax. Canva.me/relax. I'm having a Braxton Hick. Ugh. Give me a second.
Our new segment, Braxton Hick. Who was Braxton Hick? Was that a guy?
I don't know.
Of course, it's named after a man named Braxton.
I don't know. Should we look it up?
A Braxton Hick, for those of you listening who don't know, I'm going to mansplain it to you, love. Please
You
stop.
don't even know what it is.
It's essentially a mock contraction that is your body preparing itself for labor.
Well, it is a contraction.
It is. Allow me, love.
Okay.
I'm kidding. So you're. What I know of it is your stomach gets. We should have saved the bump check for now. It gets really tight. It gets and firm
And hard,
because it
yeah.
is a contraction.
Mhm.
So it is like something's contracting there.
Yeah, it's like your body's practicing for labor. Like think of it as like you have a huge marathon coming up and you run every day for a mile or two to like prep for a marathon.
And apparently in multiple pregnancies, a pregnancy of multiple, it happens earlier?
Yeah, so I've been getting them for a while, but I think a lot of them I didn't even know were Braxton Hicks. I would just like, because I have so many weird symptoms, I would randomly get out of breath, feel like someone had punched me in the chest and I couldn't breathe.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that happens because I'm anemic this pregnancy. And so I have really low iron and I will get shortness of breath often. And sometimes I thought it was because I was feeling faint. And so then I would panic a little bit and get out of breath, which I think those things are true. But then I think there are probably many times where it was Braxton Hick and I didn't know because our doctor told us at our last appointment, like, if you ever feel like the wind has been knocked out of you and your stomach is tight, it's a Braxton Hick.
Yeah.
And so then the next time I was out of breath, I felt my stomach and sure enough, it was hard as a rock.
Yeah.
So I'm having one right now. So I'm a little like,
You seem
breathless.
a little out of breath.
Yeah. So Braxton Hick, how did it get the name? How did it get the name Braxton Hick? I don't know. Braxton Hicks contractions are named after John Braxton Hicks, the English physician who first described them. Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay. I'm sure no woman who had experienced this had, you know what I mean, hadn't described it. He described it. Come on. I'm being a feminist.
Good. I love you. Yeah, I know. There's so many things. That was like, whatever. This we need to get back to the pets. Well, we'll jump around as that's what we're doing anyway. So I wanted to after
It's our date. Talk about whatever you want.
I know. Well, I wanted to after I talked about my pets for Eric to talk about his, but we took a little break and he was saying, I'm pretty confident we have already talked about this.
We've talked about our pet history. It's such a hot topic that the people want to know.
I know. He was like
it's
making fun.
So
He was like, why are we talking about
entertaining.
pets?
Like, what kind of pets do you have as a kid? Like, if this is
I think it's entertaining. I like that.
It's not something I would ever ask on a first date. Would be like,
I would for sure.
You guys have some pets as a kid?
I would for sure. But anyway.
You would?
Yeah. So Eric's like, let's move on from this. So we're not going to hear about Eric's pets because he's convinced we've already talked about his pets.
We had a lot. I don't know. Dogs, cats. We got a bunny for Easter once. We had a rabbit hutch for that bunny. The black rat snake. I've gone over. A couple little lizards.
Mm-hmm.
I just because I remember that story that where I finally had my own first pet was a cat, and I got to name it, and I named it Tony.
I feel like I do remember you saying this on the podcast.
I just feel like I've said that.
Oh yeah, maybe we did.
And he was the kind of cat that if you pet, he would do the drool thing.
Oh yeah,
lots of drool.
Well, here's
such a loving cat.
Issue.
He was so awesome.
I love drooling cats.
Yeah.
I think it was just because we usually talk about something that happened in our week a little bit, and the pet thing was such a big thing for Flynn. He was so cute at the pet store. He was so excited about a green guinea pig, and so it just made me reminisce.
They don't come in green.
They don't come in green. But if we're going to talk
doesn't occur in nature.
If we're going to talk about this week that we just had, we could talk about this week because I had a week. I had a big shoot this week that I can't talk about. You had a big shoot this week you can't talk about. So what an interesting week.
So what can we talk about?
We can talk about pregnancy. We've never talked about that on the podcast, I don't think. Have we talked about that I'm pregnant on here? No, but I did have my first full-blown kind of scary panic attack.
You think that was your first full-blown one?
I've had I always thought they were more anxiety attacks. Not a lot. I can count them on one hand.
What is the difference?
I don't remember. I think
between a panic attack and an anxiety attack.
I feel like I heard someone describe it once as one happens immediately and one slowly gets worse or something. Let me look it up. All right. So symptoms of a panic attack are intense and disruptive. They often involve a sense of unreality and detachment. Anxiety symptoms vary in intensity from mild to severe. Panic attacks appear suddenly, while anxiety symptoms become gradually more intense over minutes, hours, or days. So yeah, that's what I thought. So I thought it was a panic attack. Maybe it was an anxiety attack. I don't know what it was. It sucked. And I've had stuff like that in the past, but not too many. This one was real bad. It was so bad. I just have been overwhelmed with all things pregnancy and all the doctor's appointments and all of the many things I have to do for these babies to stay healthy and just the stress of it all, while also trying to keep my job afloat and the, pressures and guilt of trying to be a good mom and wife when I feel like I'm feeling at those things. There's just a long laundry list of stuff. And I had to meet with a new doctor that day, a new specialist in something who gave me a new list of things I needed to do to better my health. And I just got overwhelmed. And how I described it was I had a very, very full cup of water in me of all the things I need to do. And it was you could have put one drop in there and it would have exploded open of anything. And so it just so happened that
it was warranted. It's a lot.
It was bad
on your plate or in your cup. In
really
this case,
bad.
And I think you just needed to let it out, and that's how it manifested itself.
Yeah, it was weird.
And once you started dumping the cup, it was like
a waterfall, baby.
More like a waterfall. And that's okay. And I think
it was weird.
I was happy I was here.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm really proud of how I handled it. It was pretty scary.
It was weird. It was I was crying on and off for hours, and I couldn't stop crying. I couldn't stop feeling overwhelmed. I felt like I couldn't breathe for hours. And then finally, that holding my breath feeling turned into hyperventilating. And I couldn't stop doing that. And I couldn't calm myself down. And the more I tried to calm myself down, the more worked up I would get, to the point where
that's what they say about those things. The more you try and, I learned this on the Calm app, one of our sponsors. The more you try and fight it, the more you somehow feed it.
It was pretty bad. And the weirdest part to me, this has never happened to me during a panicky or anxiety filled moment. My face went numb. Literally my face, neck, and back started getting really tingly, and they went almost numb. It was really weird. That's never happened and it was because of it. Because when I calmed down, that stopped.
Well, yeah, I think that had something to do with
oxygen.
Yeah, either too much of it or not enough. It
was weird.
There's a lot going on in your body physiologically right now. Yeah, I will say if you weren't pregnant, you know what I mean? It would have been.
We would have gone to the hospital.
No, I don't know. I think it'd be less. I'd have less. I think it was because you were pregnant with two babies, I was like, maybe we were pretty close. I mean,
To go in the hospital,
we
yeah.
did call a doctor and speak to a doctor.
Yeah, I was talking to 2 doctors, and
You couldn't talk.
I physically couldn't speak. So Eric got on the phone with the doctor, and she helped us through it. And it was truly between, if I couldn't have calmed down with the doctor's help, I would have had to go to the hospital for sure. But it was one of those things where if I went through that not pregnant, I'd be like, take me to the ER. This is weird. But since I'm pregnant, I'm like, oh, this happens every day. Like something bad happens with my pregnancy every day. But
God, I can't imagine.
But now the newest thing, the last couple of days, is my legs feel like they've given up. Like my legs are like, this is too much weight. We're done. Because I'm officially have more weight than I ever did with Flynn in my belly area.
Mhm.
Because Flynn was 7 pounds when he was born. And these babies are both measuring about 3 pounds right now. And they both have their own placentas, and they're both sacks of water, which is very heavy. So I think I officially have, with all that combined, more weight on the front than I ever did with Flynn. And it really does feel when I walk around, like we just took a break. I walked to the kitchen and I was like, I need to sit down. Like my legs they start shaking like they're going to give out. And that's scary because I feel like I'm going to just fall.
It's a lot of work lugging all that.
Especially when you got skinny little chicken legs like me.
Yeah.
They're like, we don't hold this much weight ever. What are you doing?
You have the legs of an Olympic speed skater, love. What are you talking about? I see you doing squats.
Oh, yeah. Right. I was telling Eric, it feels like you ever have to carry a really huge box that weighs like 1 billion pounds. You know, have you ever, like, not 1 billion. Okay, I'm being a little dramatic.
You're always carrying around boxes.
20-pound box, whatever. And you just have to carry it around your house all day. Eventually, your legs and arms are going to be like, hey, I cannot do this anymore. And
you did that video with Corey where you taped a watermelon to him, right? And you said he was like sweating and had to sit down.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Felt like
he was like, how do you do this?
Out. Yeah.
I wanted to do it with you, but then you had to get your wisdom teeth out that week. So there's still time. We can do it right now.
Like right now?
Do we still have that watermelon?
I certainly threw that watermelon out. It was just sitting on our kitchen for
Come on, lovey.
weeks and weeks. I'll do that. You know what I mean? I'll for what do they call it?
I don't know.
When you do things for not sympathy.
Well, I don't know. It's to me, the weight of it all is like the least of my issues. You know what I mean?
What's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know what you're talking about. Like sympathy pains?
No, like I'm.
What are you talking about?
Part. You know, what's the word? Not sympathy, but like, and not empathy, but like
Okay.
You have to go through this, so I'm going to go through it with you. There's like a word for that.
Sympathy?
Like something eating.
What?
I don't know. Forget
Something
it.
eating?
Yeah, like, she's eating all this because she's pregnant, so I'm going to eat it all too out of...
Like support?
It's not support, though. There's a word. It's driving me nuts.
Anyways. I'm going to
Anyways.
look it up. I can't remember what it's called. A sympathy pain? I don't know.
Something like that. But it brings me to something that I wanted to say to you to for sure make you angry.
Oh, God.
But I wondered if you knew about COVID syndrome.
No. COVID?
Yeah, not COVID. COVID.
It sounds like you were saying COVID, but fancy.
Oh, God. Also called sympathetic pregnancy is a proposed condition in which an expectant father experiences some of the same symptoms and behavior as their pregnant wife.
Okay.
Are you already rolling your eyes off of your face?
Well,
They most often include weight gain, altered hormone levels, morning nausea, and disturbed sleep patterns, anxiety,
here's the thing. Yeah,
postpartum depression, labor pains,
but this isn't.
and nosebleeds, commonly known as sympathy pain. It is not recognized as a real syndrome by many medical professionals, but it's a source of debate, and some believe it's a psychosomatic condition, while others believe it has actual biological causes relating to hormone changes in the home.
Yeah, I mean, I think that like.
Well, let's talk about me and what's going on with me. We're always talking about your
I have
symptoms.
Something to say.
What about my symptoms?
I have something to say. So I do think there's
Shocking.
validity to how stressful and crazy it is to have a kid, whether you are the
Well, and
husband,
a partner who's
whatever
going through
partners,
this.
yeah. It is obviously.
It's hard for me too.
It is hard for you too.
You can't even say that with a straight face.
Well, it is hard for you too. No, I agree with
thank
that.
you, love.
No, that's what I just said. Like, there's a lot of validity to like how stressful and scary and overwhelming having a new baby is and all that. Of course, it's been hard for you and all the pressure of everything at home.
We've seen that here privately.
But I will say this: I'm going to call you out right now, and you can decide whether we're going to keep this in or not. I'm going to call you out hard. The other day, I was talking to my wonderful, incredible husband, who has gone above and beyond to take care of me and our son while I've been going through this. He's the best. But I was talking to him about how with twins, it is very common to have a C-section and how that scares me. I think C-sections are awesome and I'm so grateful for them. And if I need to have a C-section, I'm obviously having a C-section. Like, let's do it. Totally game. It's just the only reason it's scary to me is because I've never had one.
Right.
And I've had the other kind of birth, out the bits. And so I know what to expect with that. A C-section is scary and new to me. And I was explaining to Eric how scary that was, the idea of having a C-section and a major surgery and cutting me open and taking out organs and babies.
Did I compare it to my wisdom teeth?
You certainly did. You said to me with this, I'm talking to you like teary-eyed, how like scared I am of this.
I wasn't being serious. So I was like,
No. Let me finish.
Let me say what I said.
He said, love, he was so sweet. He was like consoling me through it. And he goes, if I can get through my wisdom teeth surgery, you can get through a C-section. And I
meant that like it was a thing that I meant that like it was a thing that I'd never had done, that I was really scared of. That is a major that I had been avoiding for 20 years. That I finally had the courage.
Correct. I understand that, but they are not comparable surgeries.
And I think even in the, just so you know, just so you listening know, like I surely said during this conversation, they are not comparable.
You did not.
I am not saying it's the same thing.
Not.
And I was saying it in jest. I was, and I did say that. Selective memory.
So I just want to say, he said that. And if you're wondering what my response was, there wasn't one because it didn't deserve a response. I think I just looked at you and then we just kept talking and moved on from it. But it was very funny to me.
No, leave it in. But like, I'm a good guy.
You're the best guy in the world. You're amazing. With that one, I was like, not the same. Wisdom teeth being taken out and
sometimes we swing and we miss,
and babies being pulled from your stomach is not the same. But
speaking of organs,
speaking of how awesome you are, I want to talk about a present I got you. And I'm not kidding. I really did get you a present. Okay. From our next sponsor.
Okay.
Uncommon Goods.
Oh.
You guys, if you haven't heard of Uncommon Goods, I'm about to change your life.
I got a lot of goods.
It's really exciting.
Most of them are uncommon. If you're on a mission to be the best gift giver ever this year, it's never too early to start crossing off your list. Whether you're shopping for mom, dad, teenagers, in-laws, or your best friends, Uncommon Goods makes it easy to find remarkable and truly original gifts for anyone. Uncommon Goods wants your holiday season to be stress-free. So check out their selection of thousands of items today. So you guys, let me just tell you. So now we're already Christmas shopping too?
Okay, the gift I got you was not for Christmas. I was just going to give it to you, but it hasn't arrived yet, but I'm really excited about it. So when we were asked, wait, let me say that again, Chris. When Uncommon Goods reached out and wanted to sponsor us, I looked into their website. I'd never heard of them before, and I am so sad that I've been missing out because
there's a lot of cool stuff on there. I looked at it too.
Amazing. Mm-hmm. So there are. I mean, I'm talking. They have everything.
I knew what it was. You didn't know what it was.
I hadn't heard of it yet, and they literally have everything.
I had ordered from there before they were sponsored.
Tons of awesome stuff. I mean, everything you can imagine. Like there's cutting boards and there's shower steamers and there's like clothes and there's, puzzles and games. And I'm not kidding. I saw a hat for your bananas. I saw a hat for bananas on there. So they have like everything. And I was going to surprise you, but I guess I'm going to spoil it.
Tell me what it was. Tell me what it is.
I got you this really cool, like whiskey oak glass that like makes the whiskey taste better. So it's like an enhancing oak tumbler.
Is it made of oak?
Yeah, I'll show you a picture of it.
Oh, that's cool
Isn't
looking.
that cool? Because you've kind of been drinking whiskey lately.
Well, and I love wooden things.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
was like,
wooden cup.
I know.
for
Isn't it
whiskey?
so? And it enhances it. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
So anyway, they have lots of really awesome stuff is what I'm trying to get at. So if you don't know what to get someone, this is the place to go. Who knows what holiday shopping will look like this season, and the unique gifts at Uncommon Goods can sell out fast. So shop now and take care of it early. No matter what they are into, Uncommon Goods has the perfect gift. From art and jewelry to kitchen, home, and bar, Uncommon Goods has something for everyone. Not the same lackluster gifts you could find just anywhere. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the US. They have the most meaningful, out of the ordinary gifts anywhere. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give back $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $2.5 million to date. So to get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/relax. That's uncommongoods.com/relax for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods. We're out of the ordinary. It really is an awesome, awesome website. I was like having so much fun looking at all the stuff. There's like quirky, weird, fun stuff on there.
Quirky. It's uncommon.
It's uncommon.
Like I said, I had shopped there before.
So anyway, we were just talking about how
My
Eric
symptoms?
compared my C-section to his wisdom teeth. But now we're going to talk about something else.
Well, you told the story about like what you deems to be your first big.
Well, it was my worst. It wasn't my first, but it was the worst one I've ever had. Panic
Mhm.
attack, anxiety attack.
But
you're a friend to anxiety. You and anxiety are
I
buddies.
wouldn't call me a friend. But yeah, it's
What?
I don't know.
Do you have a story you want to tell?
It's definitely not my friend. It's I don't know that I ever was aware of it for like, I mean, I knew the word, but I had no relationship to it until an episode like that happened to me. And is now a medicated problem in my life. But the first big anxiety attack that I had was at, of course, the best place for it to happen, Disneyland.
Oh, yes.
So not only am I not a huge fan of Christmas, I also don't like Disneyland.
I know. How are we married? These are my two
They say
favorite
opposites
things.
attract. I don't know.
Oh, gosh.
Those are your two favorite things.
You know what?
Those are your two like happy places. Is like Christmas decorations and Disneyland.
Well, the Christmas season, but yes, Christmas time and Disneyland. And I can guarantee you that now that you're a dad, going with Flynn,
sure,
it's gonna be your favorite place in the
hopefully
world.
will change my relationship with that place. But it was my first time there, and it has tainted the world of Disney for me.
Where did this attack
Good interview
of
question,
anxiety
love.
occur?
It happened at what's the main hotel there?
Well, there's a few. There's the Californian one, the like
That's
one
the
in
one.
California
The big
Adventure.
one, it has like the big like faux redwood tree
Yes.
in the lobby.
Mhm.
So I was working on a Disney-esque an ABC show. ABC's owned by Disney Corporation, and probably then I don't know, billionaires. But I was working on an ABC show, and they had invited us, some of the cast, to go there for like what do they call it?
Like PR.
No, for like what's the people that show you around and you get
Oh,
to go
a
through the
plaid?
back? Yeah, go like you know what I mean. So it was like
A VIP tour guide.
right. So it was my first time at Disneyland. This like cool, like going to be this cool experience because we had that kind of service. And so we were like to meet in the lobby of that place to then enter the park through.
I know it well.
Through there.
Mhm.
And I remember having to get there early in the morning ish, and having a rough night the night before. I wasn't feeling great, but I was really excited. And then getting there, I don't know what it was, but I remember specifically that there is also a piano in the lobby of that hotel, as well as a giant fake redwood tree. And there was a gentleman there tuning the piano. Have you ever heard someone tune a piano
Your
before?
father in our house.
Yeah. In any case, what that entails is just a lot of repetitive hitting the same note over
Hard.
and over and over again, hard. And there was something about like the stress of the experience and that just the key on the piano being hit. Oh, I'm so triggered even talking about this right now. Like over and over again, like that, like it set off a climactic version of, I'd had nerves before. I'd been stressed before. like whatever I thought anxiety was before that, like existed, but this was like a whole different thing to where I turned green, got like sick, you know what I mean? And felt like it's the lead character in Sopranos suffers from these sorts of attacks. And when he in the pilot episode of that show, he describes it to his therapist as he had ginger ale. He felt like he had ginger ale in his brain. And like, it felt like, I don't know, all of these things. And once that door was open, like then the fear of that happening again became the thing, you know? So it's all become just a fear of that, like awful crawl out of your skin experience. But then like I had to proceed to then continue on this guided private VIP Disneyland experience. And I bailed on the rides. I sat on, you know what I mean, for the first half of the day until eventually I think we got to like the Cars ride. And I was like, I can do this one. I'm so like, and then I started to feel these things pass, you know what I mean? As yours did, this eventually passed for me, like this specific, strange to be talking about this. So,
why is it weird?
Well, I'm a private person. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
how you've always explained your anxiety to me is like it's not that you're nervous about doing something, or it's not that you're anxious
I'm anxious about feeling anxious.
Yeah. You get anxious about the feeling of being anxious.
Yeah.
You're like,
I don't know if anyone listening can relate. Surely somebody can.
It's not like you're nervous about that job you're going to go on, or nervous about this event, or nervous about this deadline coming up, or whatever. It's like, you're nervous that will make you anxious. So you're anxious that you're going to feel anxious. And then that makes you anxious. Right? Yeah.
And that leads to all kinds of problems.
Right.
Yeah. It's not fun.
No, I wouldn't say that.
But it is, I think it's important that it's talked about in a real way and destigmatized. And it's a real thing that it's okay to be open about and get help for.
I agree.
Yeah. And when you had that this week, I was like the whole time I was with you. I knew exactly step by step. But when you're in it, there's nothing you can really. Yeah. You're in it. You know what I mean? But like, it was such a bummer for me because like, I knew exactly what you were feeling, like every step of that.
Well, it did get to a point where I was like, I said to you, I was like, I'm not even upset about anything anymore. I just can't calm down. It was like I was panicked about being panicked, I guess, at that point. And so,
and the more you try and stop, and instead of letting it wash over you, the more you try and just stop it, it's like it just feeds it.
I was like so stressed that I couldn't calm myself down, and that was freaking me out. Which was making me laugh. Anyway, what a fun way to end this episode.
Are you guys relaxed? I'm sitting so low in this chair now.
I know.
And I'm trying to hide behind the microphone. But that's okay. It's good to it's nice to talk to you.
And that's what Christmas does to you? Christmas makes you feel that way?
In a way, yes. I'm always more anxious around Christmas time.
Lovey, that's horrible.
I don't know why. It's actually like the peak in my anxiety. Like,
I think that's true for a lot of people.
Is around the holidays. I think for me, especially living in LA for the past over 10 years, like that's when I'm used to having to fly all the way back across, you know what I mean? Like having these huge travel days and then being back and, you know, I don't know, nothing against my home, you know what I mean? Or anything like that, but just that whole process and that whole, it's just
oh my gosh,
something that's always spiked around then. So yeah, it's Christmas's fault for sure.
So my decorations do that to you?
I guess psychologically
that's so sad.
We're breaking down so many walls right now, and I think we've totally figured it out.
I should not decorate for Christmas.
Absolutely not.
I feel like I should not. I feel like that is a horrible idea. I really feel that way.
I'm ready to decorate today, love.
It's not happening.
No, we went to this really cool like Christmas wholesale warehouse, and they had some really interesting Christmas decorations and trees that I was like, I was excited. I was excited with you, and I was like, get it, and let's do it now. Yeah. Like I want that happiness for you. Like certainly outweighs, and maybe we can shift the, you know, however it makes, you know what I mean? Yeah. Together.
There we go.
In love.
We can work on it together. We can have you pick out the decorations so you like them.
Together. Holding hands.
Flynn loved that store. He loved
He
all
did.
the lights.
He really liked it.
He was really excited.
Yeah. And he is excited about
Anyway,
Stuff.
there you go. What a weird episode full of lots of things.
I liked it.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Thank
you guys
you.
are the best, and we hope you enjoyed this episode. We'll see you next week. And that's all. We'll talk to you later. I'm going to go lay
You're
down.
getting good at this.
I need to lay down. I don't feel good.
We're almost at 40 episodes, and you're finally getting the hang of it.
Oh, geez, Louise.
Bye.
You can relax. Colleen and Erik have a podcast. The world is scary and we're locked in our home. But now we have big microphones. So you can relax. That's the name of our podcast.